what's coming in Wish 3.2.01, a brand new crisis call screen. It's got all of the same stuff that you're used to, but it's gone through a makeover. It's a lot easier to use and a lot easier to navigate, and I think it looks better too. Let's have a look. So this is a new screen that is in Wish 3.2.01, and if I was to call up an existing document, or call rather, you'll see that you now have these 4 tabs on your screen, which you didn't have before. It's got all the same information, it's just that now it's organized by tabs and a little bit easier to see. Just to refresh your memory, this is what the old screen looked like. So there were no tabs, but the screen was getting quite crowded, and we were finding it harder and harder to fit additional options in. So we went to this method of the tabs. So let's start and show you how you would use this. This is the new Start Call and Stop Call button, and if I were to click this, you see at this point it's automatically assigned a number and picked up the date and the time from the computer. This little green bar shows me that the timer is active, and when I click it again, it will actually log the duration and put it in this field, which I can edit as I could in the prior version as well. So on these tabs, what happens here is I usually don't have to touch anything on this top row, and I can start right with the tabs. The first tab called Call Information is where once again I can type in the name of the caller, and you see it works the same way it did before. If there's similar names, it tells me that, and basically I can also search for clients and pop them in like that as I could under the prior one, and this also attaches it to their client workbook. Same field as in the other one. If there's children involved, I can record that number, and that's a stat that's tracked. I can type in a phone number if the person is giving me their phone number. I can also put their address here and their notes, just like I could on the other ones. The red flag issues, which was on the other screen, is still here as well. Now this is really meant to gather information rather quickly as it's coming into you. When you're done the call, or at points during the call, you can add demographics to the call on this tab. So all this tab here is entirely dealing with statistics, and some of them may be more important than others for you. Most of the places we certainly suggest that you would pick a code in here, and of course your codes are going to be different as they go along, and whether or not you serve them. This used to be, the served field used to be called the request for admission, and that's an important stat. Now you'll notice as I'm filling out these boxes here, there's 6 of them with lookups on here, and that coincides to up here, our demographics. So you can see a visual of how many you've filled out. Really the best case scenario is you'd like to fill out all 6 of them so you get a full range of statistics, but it gives you a visual here how well you're doing at filling this out. Now this is a brand new field, and it's really important to know about this field, because this works into the statistics that you're asked to report if you're a transition house in British Columbia. One of them is the primary reason for seeking shelter, for example. And I've just put some codes in here, but you would have codes that would make sense to you for sure. Now the use of the geographical code again. So in British Columbia, you would rely heavily on what's put in these in these 3 fields right here. We would actually build into your statistics. For example, geographical area, you might do a transition house within 100 kilometers would be a valid code, and if you're in British Columbia, you'll recognize that code. I haven't got it set up in this demo, but that's what it would be. And again, you can pick various things just like you could on the other one. So aside from everything so far, the only thing new is this primary reason for call. Just want you to be aware of that. Your checkboxes, which were on the prior version, are just here. So this whole tab really deals with statistics, and it's a great and important tab. So just bear in mind, we've organized it now. Record your initial information here, then you move to the demographics. You can also optionally create a risk assessment table. You're used to this. This would be a series of questions that you may construct into a kind of like a script, if you will. And so once again, that was also in the prior version. What also is new, the second and last new thing here, is you can now attach forms to crisis calls. So for example, here, if we were to create a form in here, and let's see if I for example, created a mock-up of the Jackie Campbell danger assessment tool. And if you wanted to do that while you were somebody on the phone, you would create this form in your Wish, and then you can simply move through these questions here like this. And you, if you're familiar with the Jackie Campbell danger assessment, you may be familiar with these questions. Now you can put your own one in. I've just happened to put this one in for the sake of this example. And this is really powerful addition to Wish, because if you fill out a form now on a crisis call, and if that crisis call is attached to a client like it is here, that form automatically will appear in the client's workbook as well. Anyway, that's what's new in Wish version 3.2.01 with regard to the crisis call. It's had a dramatic new makeover. I think it's a lot easier to navigate, a lot easier to use because it's organized by tabs. We've added that in summary. We've also added those two new features. You can now recall the primary reason for call, which again is really, really important in British Columbia. And you can also attach user-designed forms such as risk assessments to the crisis call. Anyway, hope you're looking forward to that as much as I am. Thank you.